Lovelies, just getting my lotion on. What? So in the Thomas Medlin case, who is a 15-year-old that went missing on January 9th, he left school at 3:30. He boarded a train. They got him on cam. And then he goes to the Manhattan Bridge. There's the announcement that we are live, darling. They have some sort of camera footage saying, yes, he went on the bridge. But now the family, the dad of Thomas, is saying the timeline is literally not possible. Like, it won't work. The math isn't mathing. Nothing's adding up. So we're going to talk about what the dad has done to try to prove that this timeline is completely off. Also, there's some information. Allegedly, they have found his phone. And I tend to believe that because of the information about his phone. We're going to cover it all. So he enters the bridge and he doesn't come off the bridge. No, he couldn't have gotten into a car because the bridge is designed with a walking path underneath the car part. So he didn't get into a car. The camera is not showing this 15-year-old coming off the bridge. He is from Long Island, and his family is desperately wanting answers. But the police seem to think that this child may have jumped. But the family's saying that's not possible, and so are the locals. So this gets really crazy. I feel like we should back the family in the sense that they're making some good points, and I want to go over them with you all. So I want to say thank you so incredibly much. If you are joining me from home, thank you, thank you. I always appreciate you in the replay crew, and I have refreshed the replay lounge with all fresh snacks. And also, thank you, my lovelies, for being in the live with me. I'm going to be interacting with the live audience and get your thoughts on this as well. Make sure if you're on replay, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's talk about this. Nanny Kelly, hello, lovely. I hope you are staying well and warm too. Yes, some of you have some frigid temperatures that you're not used to. I am saying a prayer that you stay safe and warm. Maybe you have snow where you normally don't have snow. Welcome to the party, but stay in if you can. Try not to drive unless you have to if you are in locations that have slippery conditions, obviously, right? Hey, so good to see you. Hey, Jamie Brown. Hey, Carla. Good to see ya. A lot of familiar, wonderful faces. Good morning, Debbie Gazzardo. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. We tune in from all over the world. Y'all let me know where you're from. Like, what's your country, or where do you hail from? Where do you say hello from? Good to see you all. Hey, Smudger, welcome back. My baby samurai ones. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Samantha. We have a lot of people here, so I'm going to just keep going with this. Let me go ahead and get chat up on my phone so I have it in 2 locations. So when it comes to Thomas, this is quite inquisitive. I can't quite wrap my mind around this. So there's some things we ought to know. And where did I put my pen? Oh, I got it. I made some notes. I've got it in my profiler notebook, right? And if you are interested in either the Jersey Girls lotion, which is raw cow's milk and wonderful, or my profiler notebook, just hit up our shop at 1111dex.com. And that link is down below in Mama D's amazing shop. Great minds think alike. What are y'all thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Lincoln? Hi, Karen. How are you? Yay, caught alive. Hi, Mama Mods, everyone from Wales, UK, 8 p.m. there. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. We have a lot of people from the UK. We definitely have that crowd, don't we? Ignore the email. Okay, thank you so much, Nick. Will do. I think something just got, crossed. So with Thomas, he comes from a wealthy background, a privileged background. I don't know how else you want to say it. The family's got money. It comes from money, right? Hey, Bastello. Welcome, welcome. You say hello from Northern Canada. I'm not too far away. Am I frozen? I'm not showing frozen on my screen or on my phone. Doesn't mean I didn't. What is WNC? Where's WNC? I don't know that place. The Ozarks in Missouri. My family, some of my family is from the Ozarks in Arkansas. Good to see you all. And hello again to you at home. All right, you guys. So it's not making sense to me when you find out that the father has went to this bridge. This is one of the big things. That there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6 things that are new to me that I wanted to share with you. Yes, Claire, you caught it. Good to see you, love. Western North Carolina. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you. So just like any parent, any innocent parent of an actual missing child, you're going to try to figure everything out you can, get as much info as you can, just human nature. And so the parents of Thomas are doing just that. But they're struggling because the police have a splash which doesn't show Thomas going in the water, just on the edge of the camera. Allegedly, they have cam, none of us have seen it, of a splash, an ominous splash. Now, first of all, there's not only guardrails, but there's like chicken mesh type fencing that locals have went along that walk and have come back and said the biggest hole in that fencing is only big enough to get your phone through it, that you couldn't even fit nothing else through but the phone. And yeah, that's weird. So how big could the splash be? I want to see this footage so bad to see what kind of a splash it is. If you can only fit your phone through, they have the phone, so the phone didn't go. Allegedly, they have the phone. That's what I'm saying, Claire. When they know what the size of the splash, like when I say this fencing is thick, let me grab you a picture. And it runs the full length. And locals are telling me in emails, there's no way a person can make a jump, that the fencing is secure, that there's no hole there to have somehow miraculously slipped through. But what the dad did, the test he did, yeah, you would have to climb up at least 5 feet to get over the top of the fencing, and it does curve in a little bit. It's very hard to see on my phone, but there's the fencing, and it goes up on both sides, and there's blue fencing at the bottom. And then, like I showed you before, the walking path is way, way down here. See the top of the fencing? And the driving is way up on top. So there's just no way that he got into a car, which is peculiar. So the dad goes out to the bridge, right? He goes out to the bridge, and they know that the child appeared on camera, allegedly, entering the walk passage of the bridge at a set time, 7:06 p.m. Now, if he left the school at 3:30 and he's at the train station at 5:30, where's all this missing time? Where has this child been from the train station to the bridge? Because we're talking about a significant, like, hour and a half missing time. But that being said, let's continue. So dad gets on the bridge, and he, at 7:06 or whatever their time is, he takes off walking as absolutely fast as he humanly can to try to get to the location where the splash was. He didn't even make it in the time frame allowed that they are, like, Thomas would have entered the bridge at this minute. And then there's a 3-minute gap, and then the water splash. So he's got 3 minutes of travel. The dad can't possibly even make it to the water, let alone to where the splash is. And he's going as fast as he humanly can. And he's saying, no, there is no humanly way, mathematically, that this is my son splashing the water with anything, because he wouldn't have even been able to get to that location in that short amount of time. Now factor in, I've explained that their only opening around this entire thing is big enough that you can maybe slide your phone through. So he would have had to go up and over the top. And there's pedestrians and so forth. And so how is this even possible that the splash is actually Thomas? And if it's 7:30 at night, 7:09 at night, 7:10, 4 minutes, 7:10 p.m. when they catch the splash on some camera, it's at night, like really dark. So how could they tell if it was anybody? What if it was a fish and the kid did go off? Because the parents are also saying that the camera, that the police are saying, there's no footage or evidence of the child walking off the other end of the bridge on the walk path. But the family's saying that there's trees that obscure that camera completely, and that you could easily get off that bridge without being caught on camera. And they're very, very worried about their son. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really... You've been waiting for updates from the UK. Thank you, Jim D. Thank you. My babies are my ones. I got both my orders today, Mama D. Thanks for the little bars of soap and mini bottles of lotion. You are so welcome. I'm telling you, I'm sharing this lotion with everybody, and the goat's milk soap, because it's just wonderful. Claire's asking, could it have been someone wearing his clothes as a distraction? Oh, I would love to be able to see this footage of this child getting on the bridge. Because what if these are Jay Slater type friends? What if these aren't so good friends that are telling them the Roblox story and all this? What if they faked it? But now we do have a good shot of this child getting on that train. So he did leave, even though he wasn't supposed to. And he has got, the mother said, 5 secret, like hidden Roblox accounts. And did they find them all? Did he go back to the beginning of the bridge? That's a good question too. I mean, if you can fit your phone through there, that's a pretty good size rock. Okay? I'm just thinking for a minute, out loud. Could he have tried to fake out the camera into thinking that it was him by pushing a rock through? Because a rock's heavy enough to make a splash. Liam is in the house. Hi, Liam. Cheese. And that's what he calls the soap, because it's so creamy and smooth. It looks like a piece of cheese, right? Exactly, clear, perfect wording. Blind spots. Definitely. You're new here? All from the UK. Oh, hon, you're going to love it. This is your new haunt. You'll love it. I promise you. Debbie says the soap smells amazing. Truly, it does. You saw his mom on Fox. Lisbon says, my niece waiting for her prize, got her following and loving you. Shout out from here. Thank you, love. Thank you. Appreciate you. Could he be hiding because he is afraid? These are all good questions. So there is some false news out there that we need to clear up. His coat was not found, allegedly. I say this because I'm going to show you some stuff. We're going to get into this. I want to talk about, let's just go over here for a minute. On Facebook, there are these posts where it shows this jacket in the water that looks like his jacket and so forth. If this was true, and this is a couple days ago actually, yesterday at 3 o'clock in the morning, all the other actual news outlets would have picked this up. They've covered the story from the beginning. They've had interviews with the mother. There's stuff with the dad. This would not have been missed. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to tell you something. This bin 1024 is called Brit Gossip for a reason. For a very specific reason. Because it is not factually true information most of the time. It is legit gossip. And what's frustrating to me is I'm out here with a lot of you trying to help spread awareness that we have a missing 15-year-old boy from Long Island named Thomas Medlin. And I got people that are jumping in my comments, jumping in the live chats almost every day and being like, he's been found, or he's dead, he was found dead, or he's fine, he's just at a friend's. Y'all stop that crap. You're not helping his case. When you think that you have information such as his coat was seen floating in the river, go look it up and see if that is actually the truth. Because with AI and this gossip crap over here on Facebook, it is literally impeding the investigation in the sense that people aren't going to look for a kid or care about a kid if they think it's already solved, if they think the child's been found, when actually, no. He has not been found. And as far as everything I can prove, this is blatant bullcrap. And it even talks about it being his coat. It says, no exit, no signal, just a cold river and a recovered jacket is devastating blow to the 11 days of hope, leaving a family and a city searching for answers in the dark, icy waters. This is like AI written. It says sometimes a single piece of clothing tells a story words cannot bear to speak. And then they want you to click their link where they do share pertinent, real information. But they tack that in. And why wouldn't the news, why wouldn't the Sun and USDA and USA Today, the New York Post, being it's in New York, why wouldn't they cover that story? Why wouldn't they be letting us know that the jacket was found? Same website said that there had been a 1:30 a.m. call to a teacher, that only 6 words were said, but they can't reveal those words because it might hurt the investigation into this missing person. Until I get it from an actual trustworthy news source, this is just hogwash. And it certainly doesn't help if people are buying into it, because then if you run into a room, let's say, and you say, so-and-so's been found. Now, so many people don't do their own research. They'll just go out and put that in the next somebody else trying to spread awareness about Thomas, and they'll have read that and they'll be like, oh yeah, he was found. And then you ask them, where'd you hear that? I don't know, I heard it, I read it, I saw it. That doesn't help Thomas. So please do your diligent, responsible research before posting that a missing child has been found in any circumstance. That is your responsibility to that missing child. And nobody's off the hook for that. If this turns out to be true, then this is somebody that's leaking information that even the major media sources don't have. I just find it totally... I can't believe the nearly a decade weird just time. I don't know what you're talking about, honey. Jim D says, I've also been watching on the Sebastian Rogers case. Did this so sad? Why are too many kids going missing? That's a great question. Nikki UK says one of the family friends allegedly said can't be seen on cameras, and said he could have gone back on himself and got off the bridge. In other words, he could have got turned around. I think that's what you're saying. I see Nikki K. She's wishing happy birthday to your twins, Claire, and I as well say that to you. That's right. Thank you for hitting the like. Thank you for hitting hype this week. You guys have been hyping up this channel. We're growing and we're doing wonderful, so thank you. Claire says, it's beyond belief how these kids just vanished like a puff of smoke. And Linda, he wasn't. You didn't hear me at all. He wasn't calling his teacher. It's the fake stories on this site. This Brit gossip. They're literally making crap up. There's nothing that supports that he called his teacher. So you've got to pay attention and you've got to do your due diligence on these missing kids and not just trust one AI website. The rule of thumb is this. If you find something that is news to you, like, oh, they found his coat, or oh, they found this missing kid, go look up 3 of your trusted news sources. If they're not covering it, it probably is not the truth. It's your birthday too, Linda? Well, happy birthday to you. OMG, sorry. Yes, very important. Very important that we make this clear. Happy birthday, Linda, love. Yes, the clickbait bull crap. So, with that being said, I wanted to make sure that you guys realize, check your source. If this is your source, then do not repeat it, because you're more than likely spreading absolute bullshit. Just saying. If that's your source, please stop. Please stop, because it's not going to help the case. Now, what I do want to get into is this article, you guys. This is real. I know the Sun isn't the best source, but they do a fair job. At least they don't lie to us, or in my belief, they don't. And they're talking about this. This was actually on the 29th of January, but there's quite a bit here that I did not cover, and I want to get it out here for you. So, no conclusion. Furious family slams cops and rejects new Roblox claim 2 weeks after missing son, 15, fled school and vanished. Let me make this a little bigger because it's so far away. And we can. There we go. Oh, I clicked off of it. The devastated family of the missing 15-year-old boy have begged cops to retract a statement they fear indicates the investigation into the mystery disappearance could be over. Thomas Medlin, 15, vanished after leaving school in Long Island, New York on January 9th and was spotted at Grand Central Station in Manhattan later that day. Here he is with his mommy. And oh, you can tell, Mama and Dad love this boy. Says Jim Medlin told the U.S. Sun his family are angry with the cops about the investigation into his son's disappearance. That's also how you can tell that they're innocent parents, because they're not afraid to be angry with the police. Here he is on that bus strip, on the train station area. See that jacket? That's what they made it look like. I think they used AI to forge that video, photograph on that British gossip channel. So here he is seen disembarking a train in Manhattan on January 9th. This is around 5:30. Now, he's not going to get to the Manhattan Bridge until 7:06, so where's that missing time? His fretting parents say the teenage Roblox fan may have met someone online who convinced him to travel to Manhattan and became invisible by wiping his phone. Did you catch that? His phone is wiped. That's concerning. He also, not only is his phone wiped, completely wiped, but he packed a bag for this travel. So if the child was going to self-delete or jump, why would he pack a bag, like an overnight bag? And that comes from his parents. They're wanting to know that. And his phone was shut off intentionally. I don't understand this. It does feel like if I added this all up, you guys, it feels like this child is trying to make an escape. But like the sleeping with the enemy escape for some reason. I would have no idea why, but the whole packing the bag, shutting the phone off, wiping the phone. Could someone that he trusted. Now remember, this is a very competitive child, meaning he's in competitive sports. His mother goes on and on and on about all these achievements the child had, like first in the country, right? Not just like the county, but or second in international champion or something. This is a highly competitive energy. I would just assume that he's got coaches for a lot of this. He goes to a preppy school. Could there be a teacher or an authority figure in his life that somehow has convinced him to like fake his own death, to run away, and this person will help him? I don't know. I know it seems far-fetched and all that. I'm just not sure I'm buying into the Roblox. I mean, it's possible. It is possible. Especially, what if they didn't find all of the accounts and there was an account that they didn't get? And that's the one where there's redirection to Discord or something like that, or a phone call or... True, Claire. Rich parents can be overbearing. Strict rules to keep allowance, etc. Image to maintain. Martini lady, good to see you. He was definitely meeting someone, in your opinion. You agree? Carla feels the same way. Zoe, phone is wiped. Worrying. Yeah, the phone is wiped. Right here. His fretting parents say the teenage Roblox fan may have met someone online who convinced him to travel to Manhattan and became invisible by wiping his phone. Police on Wednesday distanced themselves from pursuing a Roblox grooming situation, while revealing security camera footage saw Thomas last walking on the pedestrian pathway of the Manhattan Bridge. An eerie splash in the East River was captured a few minutes later. What kind of splash? Was it just like a little roll of water with like a... Or was it like kaplunk? Did it sound like a cinder block or a body? Was it loud enough to have been like just a phone? I don't know. Police on Wednesday distanced themselves. Okay. An eerie splash in the East River was captured a few minutes later. So he gets on the bridge at 7:06. His phone quits pinging at 7:09. At 7:10, there's this mysterious, eerie splash. Crucially, they continued, the teenager wasn't pictured leaving the area. Doesn't mean he didn't get around it. But Dad Jim exclusively told the U.S. Sun he visited the exact spot where the authorities are questioning the drop into the water on Wednesday, and said that the cops' avenue of investigation didn't add up. The times are not correlating. They say the splash came from the Manhattan side. But if you were running from 6:58, now keep in mind, running. If you were running from 6:58 p.m., you couldn't make it across the bridge that fast, he said. There is no evidence. There are no pictures of him coming off that bridge, and the camera angles are obscured by fences and elevation changes. He also told us there was no way he could have slipped in the icy conditions, and utterly refuted any suggestion of a self-delete mission. If someone was to hurt themselves, why would he pack a backpack and get on the train? He asks. So he literally packed bags, you guys. Yes, that's what I heard, that the phone was found in the Manhattan area, is what I've heard. Doesn't mean it's fact. It is weird, Lisbon. Claire, why wipe the phone if you're throwing it in the water? They didn't. They have the phone. That's how they know it's wiped. Yes, Carla, I want to see that splash. My ish just spazzed, but my life by myself? What? Don't even know. Create a sign. What if he just stepped out of the frame of the video? Claire says, well, it's becoming weird now the phone wiped. Karen says, could he have been groomed and helped to disappear? That's what his family is asking too. Okay, so let's continue. If someone wants to hurt themselves, why would he pack a backpack and get on the train, he asks. The family are worried the splash revelation may force people to conclude that Thomas drowned and want cops to retract the statement, which he claims was made without the family's go-ahead. Jim said he was planning to discuss the issues with cops on Thursday. Detectives also claimed there was no indication of criminal activity despite a horrifying slew of kids being abused and kidnapped by Roblox players, which have sparked hundreds of lawsuits. The U.S. Sun has reported extensively about the sickening trend where the unsuspecting kids are lured into meetings with players they believe are similar age before being routinely, actually say, and physically abused. This has really got me worried. Was there wind also? That makes splashes. Good question. Right, Claire? Ooh, I totally feel you. Maybe he couldn't be a kid. You mean like they wouldn't let him be a kid? Could be. The backpack of the teen suggests the prepping for an overnight stay, maybe. That's what the parents are saying too. Under fire, Roblox said last week they are working with law enforcement only for Suffolk County cops to distance themselves from any connection between the game and this case. Under the ensuance of subpoenas and search warrants and examinations so far of multiple social media online gaming platforms, profiles, and forensic examination of electronic devices associated with Medlin was conducted, and the police said in the statement. Roblox insists they are doing everything possible to help find Thomas, claiming a thorough review of his activity found no evidence of a predator luring him away. A spokesperson told the U.S. Sun, we share everyone's hope for Thomas Medlin's safe return, and our thoughts are with him and his family. The gaming giant, which shares reports of suspected exploitation with the National Center for Missing Exploited Children in CMEC, denied any off-platform grooming had been detected on their end. We conducted a thorough review to support law enforcement's investigation and found no attempts to direct him to an off-platform communication method or sharing of off-platform contact information, including usernames, phone numbers, and other communication methods, they added. We will continue to provide any assistance we can. But Jim told the U.S. Sun he has subsequently found 3 Roblox accounts his family had no idea about. So Dad's found 3. Mom mentions 5, you guys. They are researching these now. So maybe that's additional 3. Suffolk County Police said the footage placed Thomas on the pedestrian walkway of the Manhattan Bridge at about 7:06 on the day he left Stony Brook School and headed to the Manhattan by train. The last cell phone activity was at 7:09 p.m. A minute later, a splash was captured in the river. Here is the problem, Jim concluded. Okay, Jim's dad. I walked that bridge as fast as I could yesterday. In 7 minutes, I hadn't even reached the water yet. In 7 minutes, he had still not reached the water. This kid's only got 4, okay? He says, I was still over the land. It took another 4 minutes, so it took the dad 11 minutes to finally be over the water. That's not even reaching where the splash was. It doesn't add up. So in other words, the father is saying, this is not physically possible. Y'all remember going to school and they had that mathematical thing where the train going this speed at that time and blah, blah, blah. And if the wind was blowing. Okay, this is saying that there's a 4-minute window. There's only 4 minutes to be had. It takes 11 minutes to even reach the water, plus whatever time it would take to get to the splash. So we're looking at what? We'll just give it a minute more to get to the splash, hypothetically. So we have a 12-minute window. This kid's got 4 minutes. And there's other pedestrians that nobody saw this kid. And how do we know that that's actually the child walking onto that bridge? Because what did this camera capture at night? This kid has a coat on. Was it somebody wearing his coat? How do we know it's really him? There's quite a bit of time between that 5:30 train station and this alleged, let's just pretend, hypothetically, throw spaghetti at the wall. What if this kid got on the bus at 5:30 or off the bus at 5:30, didn't even go near that bridge? What if the groomer had another kid that he's got his thumb over, or even an accomplice, and that accomplice takes the kid's jacket, puts it on, has dark hair, puts his head low because it's cold out, it's at night, and walks the bridge and is like, plunk, there. Now they'll think the kid's dead, so they won't keep looking for him, and now we can traffic this child. There's a lot of problems with the way that this just appears to not be that much of a concern, because they saw some random splash in the water and the parents are doing their own investigation. It's like, gosh, have mercy. If this was my son and I could tell you it takes at least 11 minutes to reach the water, you've only got 4 minutes, you're missing 7 minutes of time that my kid would not have. He couldn't even get to the splash. Brandy, has it been proved he had 2 phones? That'd be a good question too. Does he have 2 phones? Brandy says, no, hun, it's just my speculation, trying to find logical reason for the phone to be discarded. And it was wiped clean. Like, it's wild. All right, let's continue here. Jim says Thomas was in good spirits after a family holiday and showed no signs of potentially wanting to harm himself or do anything dangerous. Now, I do want to tell you something. That does not always mean anything. I had a friend named Jazzy. She was very young. She was 18. We were helping her. She was a recovering addict to pills, and we were helping her, and we thought she was doing really good. She was in, we're into 3 weeks, and she was clean for 3 weeks, and we had our support group got together. She was part of it for her, and watched movies that night, and we were laughing hysterically. I was sitting right next to her. She's a gorgeous girl, just 18 years old. All right, so she and I were getting closer and closer and becoming friends over the time that she's going through this. And I had barely knew her through a friend when it all started, so I'd gotten real close to her, trying to help her. And she seemed absolutely fine. She was laughing hysterical with us. The very next day, we got a call, and she was found at the local park. And she had self-deleted with a rope at the park. And I could, to this day, I'm like, how wild that There were no signs to pick up on. She gave no one a clue how hard she was really having it inside. And it hurts to this day. She had a little dog named Annie. And Annie was found running around the park and led the authorities to her. So you cannot tell when somebody needs help. Often the most quiet, happy-looking person is just showing you what you want to see. So just remember, people struggle and hide it really well. Jennifer says just because a child is gifted in academics does not mean he is street smart or can judge people yet. Oh, that is so true. Very, very true. So said also, did Thomas want to go missing due to high expectations? Gosh, it could be a few things. The packing of the bag, what all was in the bag? If he's smart enough to hack accounts of his mother, could he have somehow secured a line of money secretly, like offshore, whatever? You know what I'm talking about. His family has a lot of money. Did he somehow secure another, I don't know. Did he get fake IDs and try to become an adult and do his own thing? I don't know. I don't think he could even drive yet. This is just a kid. It don't matter how smart he is. He's still a kid emotionally and experienced, right? He could be very gullible to somebody that's like, you can come live with me and we'll run away, and I don't know, be some predator. It's just very, very scary. Designs by Tui says, my sister-in-law took her own life just before Christmas. She was a recovering addict also and seemed so normal before. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm so sorry that you went through that. My love to you and understanding. That is so sad. So, the father says, again, that Thomas was in good spirits after the family holiday and showed no signs of potentially wanting to harm himself or do anything dangerous. He fears, the father fears someone he met online may have guided him towards a meeting. He never left home by himself to take the train to the city. He didn't even know how. A transit worker actually let him through the turnstile for free because Thomas told him he didn't have his wallet, which he never even owned. He's never owned a wallet, and he's 15? That's strange to me. Everything happened too fast for him to have done this alone, says the father. Thomas is described as white, about 5 feet, 4 inches tall, and 130 pounds, last seen wearing a black jacket with red stripes, dark sweatpants, and white stripes. Oh my God, the same pants as, y'all, are you kidding me? Black pants with the white stripe. Sebastian Rogers, those are the pants he was wearing when he went missing. My gosh. And a black backpack, and he had glasses. He was not distraught at any point in time, Jim concluded. We just came back from upstate New York. Everything was smiles, and he was in a great mood. Even the morning when he left for school, he was listening to music and bouncing around. It seemed like somebody was telling him how to become invisible, but most of his stuff on his electronics was erased. Not only is Thomas's phone been wiped, his electronics were erased at home or at school. None of this matches up. The investigation is not over. Anyone with information is encouraged to call Suffolk County's Police Department for squad detectives at 631-854-8452. And if you see this child, say something by calling 911. Damn. That is so scary. So, I'm just floored. This could be the scam where the young person meets someone on the internet that tricks them into sending nude photos and then tell the kid to send more pics or money or else. OMG. That could be why everything's wiped. Could be Adopt-A-Cat. What's Adopt-A-Cat? Parents might have been too strict. Maybe this person posed as a girl. You're saying, Liam's saying maybe run off with a girl. Parents sound strict. What if this person posed online as a girl, but they were a Mr. Predator? So it looks like erased by Thomas himself if it was at home. Right. That's sus in itself. So secret accounts, erasing and clearing the history in the electronics and wiping the phone. All right, you guys. I don't know. I don't know what the answers are. I just want to keep him out there because I feel like this could have went really wrong. I agree with the parents. If it takes 11 minutes of going as fast as you can to get to the water, then how is Thomas doing it in 4 minutes flat, making a splash out there? There's no way. So it would be impossible. And then all these deleted electronics, it just leaves so much open-ended. Like, I'm stuck. I feel like this is the most puzzling case I've ever worked, even though I know every case I feel puzzled, but this one's got me gobsmacked. Claire says, what if he wasn't meeting a girl, but a boy, and his parents warned him he didn't listen? Could be. Jim D says, why would he erase everything unless he's been groomed and told to? That's a good question. That is a very, very good question. All right, my lovelies. That's all I have for you today. I appreciate you sharing. Nana Kelly says, my geography is shocking. Did that report say the family just came back from New York and could have met someone while away and arranged a meeting? But he was with them on the trip, I think. Samantha feels somebody got to him. I hope not. But you guys, we're going to jump over onto our next live. I encourage you to come with us and enjoy it with us. Hopefully we'll find some answers. We're going to pull some cards, but if that's not your thing, skip that step. Totally understand. But if it is your thing, go ahead, jump over. We're going to start in about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. Give me time to switch everything over. And hopefully we find some answers out. I mean, there's got to be now. The last reading was this King of Swords, and it was showing this King of Swords guy, which is an authority figure to him. And this person was showing up throughout the read multiple times, and it got very, very freaky. In fact, the first card that came out in Thomas's reading was the faked death card. It's wild. So I want to see what else we can find out today. And so today I'm going to do a reading focused on the bridge itself. How did Thomas get off that bridge? One way or another, he left that bridge, right? All right, if that's your thing, I hope you'll join me and I'll see you there. And if not, please say a prayer for Thomas and that he is kept safe and that he is found safe. Thank you also very much for all the likes, the hypes, the subs, whatever you do. I just appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bye for now. See you soon.
I was born to the dirt, I shall return when my eyes are closed. In the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I am here to stay. Destiny will overcome, no, I am not afraid. Like a phoenix in the night, my soul will rise. From the darkness to the light, I feel alive. I'm a fire, burning bright, I'll never die. Like a phoenix.